Alright fellas, here we're back in another Pokemon Masters video. I'm late, I know. It is what it is, that's all I can say about that. But we do have ourselves the new character information for June. I mean, this dropped 2 days ago. I was going to do it yesterday, just didn't get around to it. Again, it is what it is. Thankfully we don't have too many characters to cover, like compared to like when last time I had to do this. We do also have all these expanded two expanded grids. We got Mallow for Pokemon Masters Day and Gita for the Masters Day rerun. So I guess both for Masters Day. Either way, good stuff. So let's go ahead and I guess hop in here to the new characters. We got Eriott and Necrozma. This character did drop today. I will do his overview after this. Again, I do apologize for missing the stuff. He's a physical strike and sprint EX roll. Whatever, fair enough. Good attack, whatever defensive stats, 368 speed is solid enough, 811 HP is good. EX roll giving him 568 on the attack. Does have good special attack, but I'm sure he doesn't use it. 408 speed. Good stats around for a damage dealing character, at least it's going to be primarily. Sunsteel Strike, 3 gauge, 100 power. Ignore, we know how Sunsteel Strike works. It's good. I love these damage, like, not damage reduction, but damage reduction mitigation, I guess. Passive abilities. Morning Sun, restoring HP, good healing. Honestly, I like the idea of giving a lot of strikers their own ability to like be self-sufficient defensively. It just makes it so you have to be so much less RNG and like potion support, and also not having to like have your support carry nearly as much, even though a lot of times they're going to, and especially in this guy's case, like this guy's. If you're going to run him in a multiple character setup, again, like outside of like a legendary arena setup for the most part, or, well, no, even in Damage Challenge, you're going to run him with Arc Suit Steven. That's the big point. Arc Suit Steven's really good for HP recovery, so this is not necessary, but I mean, you can definitely find good uses for it. We're going to just go to this. We're fucking hell. Sunward Glory. Target's allied side. Reduces sync countdown by 2. Increases physical moves next by 2. Increases sync move up next by 3. Applies the physical Alola Circle. And it applies the 10% power buff. Reduces attack move and physical attack, whatever, damage by 5%. And more Alola themes. Higher the percentages are. Blah, blah, blah. We know how a circle works. One usage of it, though. But still, I mean, set circle, no self-sufficiency, so I'm going to guess he's going to buff his attack and stuff on his own. We'll just have to see. Solar Sunsteel Strike. No limited, unlimited uses. It's 220 power. When the team uses Sync move once, and whenever the move is used, it's deactivated. Okay, so there it is. That makes sense. Okay. Ignores passive skills will reduce the damage of the attack. Ignores crit protection. Ignores endurance. Lowers target's defense by 3. Ignorance of power of this move, or the power of the move is not lower if there are multiple targets. It does target all opponents. 1 gauge. Okay. If the remaining MP for the user's Morning Sun is 1 or more when attacking, it applies the Alola Physical Circle. Okay, and that's it. Okay, okay. I'm gonna be frank with you. I think they need to find a better way to like incorporate the description of these circle passives, because it makes it look for both the sync and the buddy move as well as the trainer move here. It makes it look like there is 3 times more actual juice of it, but it's all just the description of the passive. They need to figure out a better way to work that. So basically, you get 1 use of the circle here, and then you get 2 uses of it here. And this has got good power and, crit protection, and, it ignores enemy damage reduction gimmicks, and also is AoE. That's pretty good. That's definitely good. Okay. Passives. Alola Pride. I'm always a big fan of stacking circles on top of master passives. That's just always really good to me. It's always been good. I think Extension is also really good, which it doesn't seem that Eriott has, but it also does not matter for him because he sets his buddy move, or he sets his circle not by using, like, Aldea Circle or whatever, what is the physical version? I don't remember. I don't remember. Is it Passion? Something, I don't know. But he sets it by actually like using his damaging move. It means you don't have to like stop doing damage to actually set the circle. You keep doing the damage, right? And it also gives amazing use to Morning Sun, where you have that choice. I love that. I love that about this. Is like, this isn't a berry for once. It's actually it's actually another move where we can let's see. Hold on. If remaining MP is wait, hold on. Wait. If the remaining MP for users Morning Sun is 1 or more when attacking a Alola Circle, it applies to the field of play. Grants the following effects. How these percentages are. Maximum power. It doesn't remove this. It doesn't take MP from Morning Sun. So, okay, if you never choose, or if you only use to opt to use Morning Sun once, or if you never use it, you get infinite circle every time. Okay, that's really good. That's really good. Okay, I like that. That's actually really strong. But I still do like the idea of where you can choose to like use this if you really are desperately in need of that healing. And well, in cases again, like maybe a legendary arena, that's gonna be really. Anyway, the beast that devours the sun increases the amount of gauge slots needed to use by attacks moves by 1. It powers up moves, probably hit the gas 5. So that's going to be giving you that extra 50% power buff here. It's like 170 max power on Celestial Strike. Not really that great. And then the buddy move is going to be like 340, 350, something like that. That's good. That's going to be really solid. And even more once it's like max power. Okay. So really good extra strength there. Raises attack by 6 when it enters battle. Guarantees crits on his moves and sync moves. Raises the sync buff of the user's team by 1 the first time its sync move is used each battle. So this guy's an integrated strike, sprint, and support. Oh, okay, so we just got to do this to power creep characters. We just got to integrate. Oh yeah, add 17 sync buffs to the team. Jesus. Okay, that's really strong. That's really strong. The thing about this is like it's effectively a multiplier. It is. And it's for your whole team as well. The more sync buffs the team has, the more damage your team is going to do. That's why sync buff is good to have. It improves your damage on all fronts. This making you go from, you know, let's say he's your second sync, you use your support and then you use him. Well, you get, instead of 3 sync buffs, you got 4. And that's just extra damage. It's going to make your damage be you have more damage faster. That's really fucking good. The only thing I've heard about this guy being bad is his gauge management, which honestly is fine to me because all this other stuff sounds amazing. Okay. Increases physical moves next by 2 when an ally applies the circle. Increases sync move up next by 3 when a circle. Oh. This doesn't even have to be him. You can use any character that can set a circle. We've got like defensive. We've got supports that can set circles that you can just run with this guy and he gets those buffs. But obviously the big thing is that it's going to be himself. So basically every time he uses the buddy move, he gets 2 physical moves up next and 3 sync move up next. And every time whenever he uses trainer move as well, which also has even more physical moves up next and sync move up. Reduces MP for the user's Morning Sun by 1 and grants the following effects when it drops to half HP or below. Restores HP by 50%, increases physical moves by 2. So optimally, you'd never want him. You never want him to drop below half because that means you're getting dangerous and losing all of your circle setting ability. Which is, that could be fine, you know, depending on the fight, but I think the big thing, that's a good way to play. I've heard one of his biggest issues is gauge, where honestly, I definitely can see like why he would really want a lot of free moves next, because he's a 4 gauge move user right here. It could be a bit rough. You can build around it though. I'm sure there are characters and cases where you can do that. I don't think it's gonna be the worst thing in the world. This guy looks really good though. This guy looks really good. Oh wow, those are really good abilities. You can play around getting the HP restoration for him with Morning Sun, or you can utilize Morning Sun just to get infinite circle. I like that playstyle, and just the fact he gets a fucking sync buff. Okay, what? Sure, that's crazy. That honestly, that's a really cool design of a character. That's really solid. Okay. 1 out of 5 grid doesn't look like anything really great. 2 out of 5, we get Gauge Refresh on Celestial Strike, Morning Sun Master Healer, Morning Sun NPR, Circle HP Recovery, Circle Damage Reduction, take super effective hit, damage reduction by 30%, 30% damage reduction from super effective moves, Mighty Command on the trainer move, some attack plus 10 and similar stuff. Not a bad 2 out of 5. I mean, HP recovery, gradual, NPR Master Healer is huge. Like if you Gauntlet, if you're on the Gauntlet, or if you like really just need the extra healing, that's really good to have Master Healer and the NPR there. So that's just right. Gauge Refresh is going to be good for helping his gauge out. Damage reduction and recovery again for more recovery purposes and defensive purposes. The super effective damage reduction as well to help out with that. What's he weak to? Dark. Not a super common type, but hey, it'll find use. And then Mighty Command is kind of whatever. I mean, +3 physical moves next, not gonna be much more crazy than +2, but whatever, it's there. It's not a terrible 2 out of 5 for utility purposes. 3 out of 5, he gets hit, sync, increases sync move up next by 2 when his attack move is successful. Okay, wow. Super sync, Furious Brawn, Impervious, Circle sync move up by 9. Oh, he's got Dark Solar, Eclipse, and Still Strike, ignoring damage reduction abilities. Okay, so it's not, okay, that's good. I like this. It's better than like the Solgaleos, the current Solgaleos, and like Lunala, where is Lunala? Hold on, wait, what is Lunala sync? Okay, yeah, that's odd. Even though it's Moongeist Beam, it has no additional effect. Where like these characters, Lunala and the Solgaleos we have with Lillian, the main character, they don't have these like innate protection abilities. I'm pretty sure Lily doesn't, because I'm pretty sure it's not even Still Strike. It's like Soul Blaze fucking something. I know the main character. Sunray Smash, yeah. Okay. And then with Lily, Sunray Smash, and it's got just the multiplier. Okay, yeah, so I'm glad that they actually had this for the same move where you got that innate, again, like damage reduction ignoring abilities. Those are still like prevalent. I mean, there's some ultimate battles with them, not nearly as prevalent in ultimate battles as other stages. Definitely good for legendary arenas, though. Definitely good for like a lot of battle challenges or extreme battles. A lot of stages do have that stuff. Sadly, a lot of stages are kind of moving more towards like tripling defensive stats and not like adding damage reduction, which sucks. But again, there's still a lot of stages that actually do work off damage reduction stuff, so this going against that, I mean, that's why all these moves are really solid for that. Anyway, Circle Sync move up by 9. Ally set Circle free moves next. That's like he needs a more consistent way, but hey, it's there, I guess. The double sync nodes, Endurance, Circle team sync moves up. Okay. I'm not too big on his like lack of sync damage, really. The Circle sync move up is whatever. I mean, it's not really a massive multiplier. Furious Brawn's really good. Impervious can be really good. Again, there's a lot of debuffing stages. Hit sync boost. This could be good again if you combine that with the Circle buffing here, or Circle sync move buffing here. Plus the Circle itself also does, of course, buff your sync move just outright. And you do also have this 20% multiplier here if you want to pick it up. I would probably not. I do think Elio has I don't have the update. Oh, hold on. Yeah, right here, Elio, he does have the Circle sync move up by 40%, Cookie. So there is more multipliers and ways for him to get extra sync damage. So his sync damage I don't think is ever going to be bad, and you're going to want to use his sync move anyway for that sprint and roll, as well as the extra sync buff here. So I mean, it's good value, but it can have legitimately good power. The sync move up next that he can get with this ability, as well as this stuff. As well as having the Circle sync move up here and the 20% multiplier here, plus the extra 40% in the Lucky Skill. It's going to add up pretty quick. It's going to be pretty good on multipliers. Endurance here, yeah, I mean, kind of whatever. Could be good, but probably not. Circle free moves next. That's good. Having some method of gauge management is going to be really solid for him. He's got himself the on-demand Circle setting here, which can, in turn be free moves next. And then every time he uses this, he's going to get more gauge. I can definitely see some value in that. Again, if he is super gauge hungry and like really struggles that way, I can see that being legitimately helpful. Again, Furious Brawn really good. The Super Sync, mostly just damage challenge tile. Could be good for Dana or whatever other Steel Week stuff we've got. I don't remember. Is it the Train Brothers that are Steel Week? I don't remember. I did crazy gimmicks. But yeah, Super Sync, mostly damage challenge stuff. But still, not too bad. So, pretty good grid. Definitely going to want it for the extra damage stuff he gets, sync move-wise and Furious Brawn DPS-wise. Other solid utility, again, like Impervious can be really solid. Super sync for the damage challenge, and free moves next here for his bad gauge. 4 to 5, he gets Trainer Sync Redemption, restoring MP for the user's trainer move for the trainer the first time the sync moves user's battle. It's just a way to get this back. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, especially because it's free. Like, you're going to get this back. It's going to be free. And that's, well, just another on-demand set of the Circle for free moves next, and the physical moves and sync move up next as well. And the reducing sync countdown by 2. So even more sprint functionality. Not bad. I mean, that's actually not a terrible 4 to 5 tile. 5 out of 5. I set Circle team physical boost, buffing the whole team's physical moves up next. I mean, I feel like still your big steel team's probably going to be like Elio, Lear, and then even if you can, like, if the gauge can support that. It's just because Lear's support is still so good, so strong, and plus you can do a lot of sprint sync shenanigans with Elio and Lear together. So definitely can see a lot of value with that. You're also double dipping on the circles. Elio wants circles. Lear's going to be really good for that. I can definitely see some very solid play under that, at least until we get ourselves the steel, the EX Steel Zone character, which is, that one will be rough. That one will certainly be a little bit rough to run around with and see how that's going to be. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time. But anyway, yeah, these are solid tiles. I could definitely see some good value here. More physical moves up next for more damage. Mostly for him, but also could be for Steven. And if you're not running Lear and you're running one of the other physical attackers like Poppy or Celine or, I don't know, like Poppy or the other Poppy or like Hop or whatever. I don't know what the best other optional steel types are to run other than like Steven and Lily and stuff and Lear. But you know, those types, they're going to be gaining some physical moves next stacks instead of just not Lear. And obviously the Trainer Sync Redemption can be really good for, again, setting that physical circle and then getting more buffs for himself here for just extra effects. So not a bad grid, definitely not a bad character, definitely solid. I like that. Okay, let's look at Champion Celine. Champion Celine here, she releases, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, Sunday. Sprint Field, I've heard this character's really good. Ghost type, Dark Weakness. Stat-wise, she's got a good special attack, probably all she'll use. 224 defenses is solid enough. 811 HP is good. 409 speed. With the extra roll here, she gets extra defensive stats, HP, and I believe extra speed as well. So good stats all around. Good gauge. Good offensive stats. Solid defenses for probably will be more of an offensive character. Utility character, maybe. I don't know. And then good HP as well. Moongeist Beam, we know how this works. Similar to Elio so far. I mean, just they're obviously going to share that stuff. Moonlight for HP recovery, again, similar to Elio so far. Lunar Moongeist Beam, 431 use limit though. 430 power, 516 max. Targets one opponent, 2 gauges, 100 accuracy. Activates when the user uses any move once, deactivated when used. Ignores damage reduction stuff, crit protection, and endurance. Lowers enemy special defense by 3. The more MP remaining for Moonlight, the more it reduces sync countdown by up to 3. What does it have? Does it do by? Oh, okay. So it's probably 3, 2, and 1. So 0 MP be 1, 1 would be 2, and then 2 MP would be 3 sync countdown. Okay. I'm not really that impressed. I mean, this is not like that. This doesn't seem like to be that strong of a move. It's not AoE either. The effects are fine, but damage-wise, not really worth it being a one-use thing. But whatever. Moonlit Glory reduces sync countdown by 2. Applies super effector next to the user. Increases special moves next by 3, and applies the Alola special circle. Okay, so Alola special circle. So again, this is some similar stuff to Elio so far. I'm not seeing a massive difference. Elio's got that repeatable sync move that's AoE, or buddy move that's AoE with all its innate effects, where Celine has I say slightly, it's a significantly higher power, but it's only 1 usage. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Also here, she does have a multiplier. Dawn, Lunar, Eclipse, Moongeist Beam. More special attackers raise the greater power of the attack, and it ignores all of the extra stuff. So again, like Lily and the Solgaleos, or at least like Elio, she does not have what they have. So that's good. I mean, a multiplier plus damage reduction, ignoring stuff, it's good to have. Alola Spirit, again, double dipping on those master passes and those circles. That's going to be extra effects for the whole team. It's going to look really strong for her and, again, team. Beast that calls the moon. Extends duration of the special circle when it's applied to the ally field of play. When an attack move used by the user's Pokemon targets itself or an ally, target comes all opposing sync pairs. When attack move used by the user's Pokemon targets an opponent, a target comes all opposing sync pairs. Okay, so this makes all her moves AoE without split damage. So never mind. This buddy move will be AoE, and it's going to be pretty strong. Okay, solid. When the user's sync move attacks an opponent, target becomes all opposing sync pairs. Power and chance of applying additional effects are not lower than multiple targets. Raises special attack by 6 on entry and guarantees crits on the moves and sync moves. So, no self-buffing needed. Guaranteed crits, AoE sync moves, and AoE regular moves. And extends circle by 30 or 50% probably. Okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's all really good. It's going to help out her damage a lot. Okay. Grants one of the following effects, depending on how many opponents were hit after user's sync move. Applies 3 moves next to the user when exactly 3 opponents were hit. Charges gauge by 2 and increases special moves next by 1 when 2 opponents were hit. Increases special moves next by 3 when 1 enemy was hit. Holy. Okay, for the sync move, though. So this is going to be like right after you use the sync move, 3 special moves up next. That next Moon Geist Beam is going to be powerful. And I mean, since it's AoE already, it's going to be fine. It's not a big deal. It's not going to be a big deal for its like damage to hit. Like, it's not going to be a big deal for you to have to like target multiple enemies because you're going to be able to lower their HP a lot anyway. But then once you're back down to that one enemy, you're like, okay, well, the benefits of the split damage no longer really apply here, or the AoE damage doesn't really apply here. You don't really get anything. But, well, they kind of mitigated that and said, hey, here you go. And then Warm Moonlight reduces MP for Moonlight by 1 and grants HP recovery and special moves X increased by 2 when falling below half HP. Is there anything? It doesn't seem like, yeah, okay. The game does not really care, or her kit does not really care about having the Moonlight MP stuff like Elio's does. So I did not like misread that, right? I didn't just like make that up. Yeah, right here. Oh, if the MP for Morning Sun is 1 or more when attacking. Okay, yeah. So I did not make that up. Thank you. Okay. Either way, that looks solid. That's a very solid like innate kit here, and she makes up for the fact that she's like hitting only one enemy, despite a lot of her kit being oriented towards being able to hit multiple enemies, by getting a lot of moves up next. And then she's got good HP recovery for herself. She's got the ability to set the circle once, is a bit odd to me, but I mean, whatever. She probably has more ways of doing it in her grid, and I'm very curious to see how she does do it. Not bad overall. I do want to see what like her damage enhancement options are though outside of all of this. 1 out of 5 doesn't really seem like anything interesting. 2 out of 5, she gets HP recovery in the circle gauge up, takes super effective hit, damage reduction, special boost on the trainer move. Yes, +1. Moonlight NPR, Master Healer, gauge refresh, and then a guaranteed gauge refresh 9. Wow, freaking Elio could have used that for sure. Okay. Mostly the same stuff as Elio. She replaces the damage reduction tile here for some gauge up stuff. But mostly the same thing on the like otherwise. That's not bad. I mean, again, more gauge stuff, more healing stuff, more damage mitigation stuff, and a little bit of damage enhancement, but not really too much. That's all going to be solid. Again, utility for her if you like have her at that level of enhancement. 3 out of 5, she gets the 2 sync tiles. She gets a special boost 2 on the sync move. Circle sync move up by 90%. Status immunity, Furious Brain. 1 on opponent field and hit special boost. Okay. 1 on opponent field and hit, free moves next. Unfortuitous 9 and endurance. Again, they are making up for her not being able to hit multiple enemies just by giving, and this is a great shit for the gauntlet. Like this character is probably a pretty easy. Honestly, her and Elio, I would feel. Elio's got a lot more gauge problems, but I think that he can still manage pretty like well enough, especially with having like Master Healer and NPR on Morning Sun. Like that can carry you fucking very far away. But having that, I think it's gonna be probably an easier time for her. It's gonna be infinitely easier time for her. I think this character fucking. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I actually, I think there's a damn good chance that Celine could end up beating out like champion Bianca's record for how fast she can like score all legendary arenas. But even like ignoring that and whatever, having great gauge management is amazing, especially when Ghost as a type. Okay, am I crazy in thinking that Ghost as a type probably isn't that gauge efficient? I mean, Ingo's really good, and Ingo helps the team gauge a lot. But frankly, what are you running as a supportive option? Probably like Champion Blue or Steven, depending on like what your setup is, if you're not running a dedicated Ghost support. But then you've got a utility option like Gardenia here, who's going to be really helpful. But then you've got other options like Ingo or Cynthia here. Like these are also pretty solid Ghost options. Not really like the most gauge efficient character, so the fact that like Celine is very gauge efficient just straight up on her own without any like caveats to that is really caveat of having multiple enemies versus just one enemy. But you can deal with that pretty easily. I mean, Celine does so much. It's probably going to do so much AoE damage. And I mean, again, if she goes back down to one enemy, it's like, okay, well, normally my benefits of having AoE damage are not going to be that great. But no, she ends up gaining +3 special moves up next every time she sinks, as well as +1 special moves up next and guaranteed free moves next every time she attacks. Really good. And then, again, multipliers on top of that. Circle, sync move, wherever right there. On top of the innate multiplier, she's going to have a solid sync move. She's got herself the special moves up next after using the sync move here as well. This would be +5 if she is facing only one enemy. That's going to be really good. And again, you still got this buddy move in the back pocket, which can do a lot of damage. It can do quite a bit. Again, it's not like a crazy buddy move, frankly. Just to be completely honest, it's not like a super absurdly strong, oh my god, amazing buddy move. But it is going to be strong. It's going to be quite strong for. So, and just like status immunity stuff, just for a little bit of extra like protection against just random things enemies can throw out, like gimmick check wise. Good stuff. And fortuitous for debuffs, similar case. Though for the most part, a lot of allies or a lot of enemies that have need fortuitous probably is because they have fluid fortification, and well, she already hits through that. But you know, debuffs is always going to be helpful no matter what anyway. You know, you can get some accuracy debuffs, offensive debuffs that can help out her tanking ability, or special defense debuffs that can help out her damage. So yeah, again, there's a lot of use for a lot of these tiles in a lot of cases. 4 to 5, she gets Trainer Sneak Redemption as well. Okay, 5 to 5, she gets first hit, Ghost Zone, and Extension. Okay. First field play Ghost Zone the first time. The attack move successfully battle. That's good. Okay, you can basically kind of time perfectly exactly when you want to use this. Granted, with her though, she probably starts attacking right off the bat. So, whatever, kind of whatever there. But still, I mean, you can get some solid usage out of that. And the fact that like you can probably pair this with a future EX zone Ghost Zone user is gonna make her pretty strong. That's gonna be very good to pair up with that. And again, Trainer Sync Redemption, you can do this for extra circle. That's actually even more beneficial for her than it is for Elio, because Elio, like, he already has a good amount of ways in order to set his own circle. So the extra usage of it here is not like that important for him. I mean, of course, he gets the extra effects of the sync move up next and the physical moves up next, right? But Celine, she does not have extra sets of her circle, though you can pair her. She can pair herself with, well, herself, I guess, in the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon variation, right? The rock ult that came out a little under a year ago. And, well, you can kind of get special, a little special circle that way. But, obviously, you're probably going to want to pair her with, like, a Ghost Zone setter and then a good support or something like that, just for, like, a basic team. So, the fact that you can now actually get 2 uses of her circle and they're already going to be extended is actually a lot more helpful for her than it is for Elio. And that actually makes her 4 to 5, in my opinion, really solid in terms of value. 5 to 5, you can argue like it's not as valuable because you can bring someone like Gardenia, who's already really good with Ghost Zone setting. But even if you do bring her with Gardenia, Gardenia is also going to like appreciate that extra extension to where she's not going to have to worry too much about having to set her extra Ghost Zone via her, it's mostly probably her sync move because she sets a lot of Ghost Zone, but it's all mostly in rapid succession. So that's just something to consider. Either way, I do like it. So that's a good kit. Another really solid kit. Another really, I think, well thought out kit. So that's really good to see. Okay, most of the rest of the kits are going to be, I guess, the varieties, and then we've got Larry, Special Costume Larry. So I guess we'll look at Larry and then Clive, because they're Special Costume Scouts, I believe. So a little bit of extra thought in there. All right, Larry and Flamigo. They are a flying type with support and field EX roll. I'm a big flying type guy, so please be good. I love his ult, by the way. Very, very funny Hawaiian man. Or Hawaiian outfit, man. Hawaiian shirt. Okay, whatever. Looking at the stats, we got ourselves 370 defense, 359 special defense, 796 HP, 373 speed. EX roll unlocked, of course, with field giving extra defensive stats. That's going to be good for him. 390 defense, 379 special defense, 856 HP. Good. We got air slash, flinch. All right, good for support. Flinching is nice. We love it. Potions for healing. I'm liking it. I can't lie. I am liking it. And then Summer, Sky, Feather Dance. 2 uses here. It can be activated when the user uses any move once and can be deactivated, or it is deactivated when used. Never misses, lowers enemies' offenses by 2, turns field to play in a flying zone, raises evasion of all allies by 2, and increases physical and special moves next of all allies by 2 as well. Okay, as much as I love Anniversary Skyla, and I will continue to always and forever, it's been a good minute since we've had like a competent flying zone setter outside of her. Like, I mean, you're not competent. Doesn't she set it just on her sync move? I'm pretty sure all of these like gym challenge units literally just set it on their sync move and by no other way. And where Larry here already has at least 3 uses of it, just by rating 2, like just the buddy move basically and his EX roll. So I'm already liking this, and this is a lot of good mixed utilities. Like I mean, with flying, we've got a good physical and special split. I mean, Sharon wants both, so already nice. Liza likes physical side of things. I feel like, I mean, Steven likes physical, but I'm a big Anniversary Steven advocate, but like I can't even say he's like fantastic or whatever. I mean, obviously Ethan wants special. Skyla doesn't care. She doesn't do DPS. Lysander wants special. Blue wants special. So more special leaning, but there are still like cases of physical moves up next being good. So it is good to have that mixture there, especially for future cases where maybe we'll get a better physical flying character than special, right? Someone that can maybe outclass Charon. But it is good to have that, and obviously the extra offensive or defensive enhancement with the offensive debuffs and evasion buffs as well is good to have there too. That's nice. And then his training move reduces sync on by 1, raises all allies' defenses by 4, and accuracy of all allies by 1. Only 1 use, whatever. You can probably find another way to max out defenses. He probably has another way, I'm sure. I mean, solid enough base kit for now. Nothing crazy, but still good. Ally stat up sync boost 1, increases an ally sync move up next by 1 when any of its stats are raised. Okay. I'm going to assume this means... I'm just going to assume that this implies that whenever a stat is raised by any amount, it's just going to be +1 sync move up next. But it's going to be by a turn. So, of course, you know, use the trainer move, you'll be getting +1 sync move up next. Use the buddy move here, you'll be getting +1 sync move up next. Stuff like that. Yeah, increases an ally. Oh, and allies when any of his stats are raised. So it doesn't even have to be from Larry, technically, either. So this could be like up to +3 within a turn, depending on how like the team's built, but most likely +2. That gives a lot of extra value to a character that's got like fortuitous or something, just a random stat buff. That could give extra usage there, honestly. I like that extra thinking of it. Other than that, but also like this could be like fucking overpowered if it actually increases. Like here, you got +4 and +1, so like +9 stats buffs here. Imagine that's +9 sync move up next. It's probably not. I'm very sure that it isn't, but still, that's a solid ability. First time takes sync move, team HP recovery 2, restores allies HP by 20% of their max HP the first time the user's hit by a sync move. It's like reverse synchro healing. That's good though. I mean, that's solid. Then take sync move hit, team physical and special boost up. Increases all allies physical and special moves next by 1 when the user's hit by a sync move. I mean, oh no, he can't be run with Sickness to Alt Giovanni or something, whatever. Which he can, but you just have to play around it. But whatever, obviously you're not going to do that anyway. Just a funny mention there. Yeah, I mean, this is solid. More damage enhancement combined with the buddy moves damage enhancement. A little bit of HP recovery on top of his potion recovery. And then ally sync move up next whenever stats of allies are raised. And he doesn't even have to do that. Like, he already can buff ally stats 3 separate times. But the ally can buff their own stat as well. And again, if you've got, like, Fortuitous, or if he manages to have Team Fortuitous or something in the grid here, which I very well could see happening, that could be really good. That's a solid base kit. I don't think he's like an overpowered broken support or anything like that, but I do think it's a really solid base kit. He's definitely going to be solid for flying type teams. That's solid. That's all around solid. And he's going to be probably looking even better to run as a support whenever we get ourselves like the flying EX flying zone setter. Very curious to see. Anyway, 1 out of 5, escape artist, unflappable, nothing aside from that. 2 out of 5, he gets barrel roll 2. Gauge refresh on the buddy move, flying zone HP recovery, air slash gauge refresh, natural remedy, potion master healer, and NPR. Ooh, he's got double nodes of that. 3 out of 5, I love those. Training move NPR as well. Okay, training move NPR is good, maxing out those defenses and +2 accuracy. HP recovery is nice as well. Gradual healing for himself on top of his own potions, as well as on top of having the 20% HP recovery for everyone here. Just good HP recovery to go around. Gauge refresh stuff is fine. I don't think he's too gauge heavy as is, but gauge management is definitely something he doesn't do. Oddly enough, I would expect him to be one that would do that, but clearly not. But regardless, it doesn't really matter too much. I think he'll be fine with gauge stuff anyway, especially because if you do want to like double dip into running double flying zone setters, if you run Anniversary Skyla anyway, she's already handling speed, but just something to consider. He might want to have some gauge stuff. Barrel 2 for damage reduction as well. Again, that combined with the healing he can do, that's going to be good for reducing the amount of potions he needs to use on himself. So, good to see. Other than that, just gauge stuff. Natural remedy just for basic like stat, like burn, freeze, whatever. Mitigation, that's good as well. Obviously, you can run a lucky skill in that case, though. Not like a necessity to have. By the way, Celine here has the circle sync move up, so same case as Elio. And then I want to look... Larry, Revenge Boost. Okay, well, Revenge Boost actually isn't bad. Again, gauge stuff. You know what? Revenge Boost actually is not bad for him, at least so far. Okay, and the Potion Master Healer and NPR stuff. Like these 3 out of 5. These tiles are always going to be really good. Like, okay, you probably don't need a second Master Healer, but like double NPR plus a Master Healer, that's always really, really good to have. You're always going to love to have this little trio here on any setup you end up doing for any character that has it. So just something to consider. He's also got here, first time take sync move, teammate recovery 1, 10% HP recovery when taking a sync move. Or when they're, when they use their by sync move. So 30% healing total. Again, that's not bad. That's not bad. It is only once, which kind of sucks. I honestly think I think Larry would be really, really good if this is infinite. Obviously, right? But I don't think it would be broken. I think it would be just a very solid designed kit if he restored 30% HP every time the team was hit by a sync move. I would like that. It's got flavor, trainer move, sync count down 9. I mean, -1 sync count on the trainer move. I mean, -2, basically. That's not bad. It's about where I'm at with it. It's all right. I mean, if you can combine it with one other character who can do like -1 sync countdown, well, a whole rotation's not bad. First sync move, restore buddy move MP 1, restores 1 MP for the buddy move. That's good. You're gonna want that. That's extra flying zone set, so up to 4 sets of flying zone, raising extra evasion buffs, extra physical and special moves up next, extra offensive debuffs on all enemies. That's good. It's good to have. Flying zone extension 3, more flying zone stuff. Okay. Air slash aggravation and then air slash team offense is up. So if you do need those team offenses, Larry can buff effectively every stat besides crit and speed. No crit buff is odd, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, any good setup for the most part is going to have characters be self-sufficient in their own buffing of at least crit. Not at least crit, but at least some offenses. Skyla, despite being pretty slow, can do it herself as well, even, I mean, just considering. Sharon doesn't care. Liza's got her own. Ethan relies on crit and hit next, doesn't he? Yeah. But, I mean, it kind of works for him. Yeah, okay. No, not really too many characters that are, like, struggling for crit buff, so that's not really a big issue to me. Aggravation, always, flinch. Flinch is always really good. Obviously, I didn't mention it too much here, but flinch is going to be really good for a lot of different cases. You can get good usage out of it in the damage challenge. That's... I tend to prefer to spam strat. I don't care to go for the friggin' strats that are going to take me forever with the flinch RNG. Like legendary arenas, damage challenge potentially. High score events going to be really good to rely on flinching. Some ultimate battles, it really appreciates being able to be flinched. There's a lot of like leg room that can open up in those. I think Larry's looking really solid. I don't think he's like a fantastic OP character or anything like that, but he's just really solidly, really well knit designed. Definitely works well. He's got a good range of characters he can buff with his physical and special like guides. I guess both. Definitely going to be good for flying. He's definitely going to be really solid, I think, whenever we eventually do get the EX Flying Zone setter. Overall, not bad to have. 5 and Amoongus here. I don't know why they doubled up on Amoongus, of all things, but sure, whatever. Poison type, tech with the support EX roll. I thought it was reversed. I thought it was support tech. Okay, whatever. Tech support. Tech support. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so he's got 476 attack, 512 special attack. Okay. 237 defenses, 765 HP, more HP with the EX roll, extra defenses with it as well. It's pretty good defenses. Whatever speed. Alright, Sludge Bomb, whatever, not really that great of a move. It kind of just exists. Leaves the enemy poisoned, well, 30% chance. Fire hit all plus, can buff ally crit, sure. Alluring Sweet Scent, 2 gauges, hits all enemies, activated whenever the user uses any move once, cannot be deactivated. Lowers enemy evasion by 2, leaves all opposing sync players either flinching, confused, or trapped. Increases physical moves next and sync move up, or sorry, special moves on next allows by 1. Restores HP by 10% of the maximum. Makes the opponent target the user for a short time. What the hell? Well, he's not a support. I think they're trying though. It's like they're really trying. Okay, yeah, he's a meme. Gauge acceleration, raises evasion by 6, and applies endurance. Okay, I see what they're going for. The crit buffing's very fucking random. What is this? Okay. Allies hits flinching opponent. Increases ally physical moves and special moves up next by 1. Ally hits confused opponent, charges gauge by 2. And hits trapped opponent, restores his own HP by 10%. I mean, that's not bad, especially because you can get all of those effects, assuming they can, well, obviously it's not like trap and confusion have the same time duration as flinching most of the time. Friggin' Yuxi, God. But yeah, I mean, for most enemies, you can have all these effects activated simultaneously with enough luck. Mostly these two, but could technically be all of them as well. So, yeah, technically you can get some gauge back, some HP back, some extra offensive buffing stuff. That's bad. That's not bad. Damage is not great. That's definitely not something I would like rely on too much. Sludge Bomb, bruh. Crit buffs are good though, and also having the evasion debuffing and physical moves and special max buffing that he can do. Increases an ally. Oh, it's an ally. It's not even all allies? At least this is all allies. I want to target him for a short time though. With inconsistent HP recovery, that's kind of whatever. Yeah, just kind of whatever. He's also got innate multiplier here with the flinch, confusion, or trap, which, I mean, great, whatever. He's got the tech multiplier. He's got a good offensive stat. He can probably do some good damage. Sludge Bomb, not really so much. Mostly just kind of there. Whatever. Well, let's just look at the group. 1 out of 5, Antitoxin, Wide Awake, nothing crazy. 2 out of 5, Dire Hit All MP. Okay. Alluring, Sweet Scent, buffing his defenses. Okay, buffing his defenses by 1. That can be helpful. Age Refresh, Trend Move NPR. Not really that great. Fell Forward for gauge buffing stuff. Hit and Heal for, he's going to need the healing, so I'll take it. Poke Trap, Sludge Bomb, okay. Hostile Environment 2, Gauge Refresh on Sludge Bomb. Confusion Synergy on Sludge Bomb as well. Okay, actual multiplier on Sludge Bomb, it's probably going to be pretty helpful. I think he needs more, but hey, it's there. Not a bad 2 out of 5 for what his kit is working with and naturally. I mean, defensive buffing, being able to have some gauge stuff, some healing, some extra damage. Like damage over time, I think is a big thing he's wanting to go for with like the trap plus poison plus potentially enemies hitting themselves in confusion. They don't get flinched. Like that stuff you can kind of work around with him, and 90% flinch chance is not bad. Extra damage from trap. Healing is a big one for him. If you're going to be using this for its effects, which are good, like really solid effects, but obviously, you know, you got to consider the fact that enemies are going to be hitting him. But it is good that you can like make them not hit him by not using the move. That is something. At the very least, that is something, right? Okay. Whatever. 3 out of 5, he gets ally hits trapped opponent random stat up. For him or an ally? Raises an ally stat. Okay. Opponent trap team moves up. Ally hits confused opponent gauge up. Sludge Bomb hit accuracy down. Okay, that's good. Okay, say what you want about the guy. I mean, he's gonna be good in the legendary arenas. That's something. Not really, but it's something. Something for that mode. Move on opponent, special attack down. Yeah, physical down? Yep, he does. Interference sync 9. Hit flinching opponent sync boost. And then sync move up next. Okay, he's actually got solid multipliers. Interference sync plus the innate plus the sync tiles here plus the sync move up next he can get if he is able to hit a flinching opponent. Well, an ally can hit a flinching opponent, get the sync move up next as well. Also, this isn't just for him. This is for also all allies too. He's trying to play a supportive role, but at this, I mean, his build makes sense. The way they wanted to build him, it does make sense. Not a massive fan of the RNG. Again, like, I like the idea of a character that is very big on its utility to the point where, like, it's got tech stuff, but it is mostly a support character disguised as a tech. I don't like it when it's so RNG focused, especially not when it's reliant upon a status change, which a lot of stages have status change mitigation, and a lot of stages also, again, you gotta consider the RNG of it. Like, imagine like the stage is flinch immunity. Well, that's a lot of your damage gone. They have confusion and confusion and trap, depending on the stage, don't last too long. I don't know. That's my only issue with this design, is the fact that it's fundamentally designed off of hitting enemies that are flinching, confused, or trapped, and the fact that he does not want enemies to hit him, but he, you know, makes enemies target him. It's like they know, it's like, okay, he's not super defensive, so we got to give him +6 evasion and the ability to like debuff accuracy and stuff, right? Wherever the hell it is. Wherever the hell it is. Right there. Be able to debuff accuracy and buff his own evasion, and even buff his defenses in case he does get hit. I don't know. That's like a Grimsley type of design, but honestly, I think it's better than the latest Grimsley and Absol. So that's something, I guess. Sure, whatever. Samson Oak and Executor, Alolan Executor specifically. Okay, let's see how this guy is. He's a support field dragon. So dragon's got itself a field. Let's go. We got ourselves a Dragon Zone setter. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Stats, not really super impressive offensively, but could be better. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay, he's a support. Duh. No fuck. No fuck, he's not going to be super good offensive. But the fact he's got 400 attack as a support's already telling me a lot. Okay. Tall Dragon Hammer, 200 power. Okay, he can do damage as a support. I got it. Good defenses, good HP, good speed. Surprisingly for being a low Executor. Okay. Bullet Seed, not that great of a damaging move, but honestly, he can do chip. I mean, he has the ability. Citrus Berry, we'll see what effects that's got. Definitely not his healing version. Tall Dragon Hammer, 200 minimum power. Targets an opponent to gauge. Infinite use. Activates whenever physical moves next is 2 or higher. Deactivated whenever it's lower. Leaves the enemy confused and paralyzed. That's a very random combination, but okay. How interesting. Okay, well, okay, Dragon Hammer probably like does some crazy things. I don't know. I don't really care to look it up either, but sure. Anyway, how interesting. Raises allies' offenses by 2 and crit by 3. Only 1 use? Not that broken. We have way more broken moves. Whatever, that's fine though. Let's see, what else has he got? Blazing Sunlight Transformation restores 1 MP for the user's moves that have the berry effect tag. What? Restores 1 MP of the user's moves that have the berry effect tag whenever you use a citrus berry while weather is sunny. 50% chance of restoring 1 of the MP for the user's moves that have the berry effect tag when it uses citrus berry when not in sun. Advantageous Abundance grants the following effects when using citrus berry. It makes the enemy target the user for a short time. Applies the take next all move effect to the user. Increases the physical moves next by 2. Okay, so it's okay for double support setups, but whatever. That's good though, giving another character that has the take all effect on him. Turns people playing a Dragon Zone after using the max move. That's he has no other way of setting Dragon Zone that I can think of other than his sync move and his max move. He doesn't have extension except for the innate extension of field. Yeah, I thought we were dealing with another good Dragon Zone setter. Or actually having a good Dragon Zone setter for once. Bro, we got bummed so far. So far. Okay, like, he's not, like, god-awful or whatever, but he's definitely... He doesn't have nearly... His only method of buffing ally offense is for fucking attack and special attack and his trainer move. And then he also is able to take all moves, but he's not defensively, like, sound either. Like, he's actually not. He doesn't buff his defenses at all. He's got max overgrowth and Wormwind. I mean, okay. It's that grassy terrain, big whoop. Well, I mean, this guy's gonna have to have a good grid. Yeah, nothing crazy on the sync move either. Okay. What's the grid? 1 out of 5, Lith, sure. 2 out of 5, he gets a quick cure, NPR on the trainer move, verdant immunity, status condition be there. Bullet Seed, gauge refresh. Power up on the max move, I guess. Draconic Sync, Draconic Acceleration, Pep Rally. Okay, that's good. So far, it looks like just Pep Rally. Nothing else here is like really blowing me away. I mean, like offensive buffing, woohoo. Okay. 3 out of 5, Punishing Strike, Flag Bearer. Oh god. Max move defenses up by 3. Max damage guard. Solar Sync. That's his method of setting sun? I didn't even fucking think about that initially. He's got a whole passive here that relies upon being in sun, and then... Okay. Increases moves up next by 2 so you can use the... Sure. Oh, leaving paralyzing infusion. Okay, I can see good usage in that just because it makes it like double chances the enemies do not land a move. And if they do, it hits him. I see the design, I guess. Take hit, restore berry MP. Dragon Zone team moves up. Dragon Zone extension. Sucks. Okay, sorry. Okay, problem. Okay, with Dragon Zone thing, it's kind of more fine with the extension now, but it's still not like great. You still want another Dragon Zone setter because he only sets it twice. Not that great, but and the team moves up is good support. Like his ability to buff ally offense is okay now with the support here, I suppose. But he's got no healing. His only way of using healing is for a 20% back with Citrus Berry, which that 20% ain't a lot, and he ain't got Master Healer, at least not that I've noticed. Yeah, he ain't got Master Healer. And then he's just got like some attack and special attack buffs, like Flag Bearer and the Trainer move, and then defense debuffs, which are good, you know, like that's good to have. My biggest issue is the fact that he's got a take all effect here, but he's got no really good healing and only +3 defenses for himself. Like, if you want to run this guy in a setup of, like, example, himself, Champion Nate, and Arc Suit Lance, you're gonna... Who is taking the hit? Him? He's gonna fall over. He's not like Giovanni, who has 1,000 HP and can buff his defenses to +6 in 2 turns. He can barely buff his defenses at all, and he can't do it to +6. Like, I'm sorry, like really just going ham on our boy Samson Oak here, but man, that's not impressive by any stretch of the word. It's really not. Maybe he's like OP and I'm just not seeing it, but whatever. Gordy and Barbarical, Variety Gordy. He's support tech. Oh, right, he was the one that got bummed with the Tech EX roll. Okay. Good defensive stats, whatever offenses, but he's so 800 HP, 390 speed, +1 or +20 to all those stats besides the speed, and +60, wow, to HP. Okay, mouse, please work. Okay, whatever stats, let's see. Rock Tomb, speed debuffs, potions. Hey, he's already got one up on Samson Oak. Okay. Huge Boulder Iron Defense, 3 use limit, 1 gauge, targets all allies, buffs all allies defenses by 2. Already got another one on Samson Oak. I'm liking this guy more. And increases ally offenses by, or moves up next to my 1. Okay, I'm liking Variety Gordy more than I'm liking the other Variety. Okay. Become a Monolith, raises allies offenses by 2, crit allies by 3. He's got, look at this. He took some teachings from Samson Oak and then it came out better. What type is he? He's rock. Good. It'd be worse if he's water. Ally crit, power up 1, powers up allies attacks when they come critical hits by 10%. Why is this not just team critical strike? Oh man, whatever, it's fine. I like it though. 10% buff for literally existing. I love that. Quick tempo for some gauge acceleration and vigilance for crit protection. Free for his lucky skill. Speaking of, what is their lucky skills? Okay, Clive's is sync damage guard. That's frankly, okay, you probably want to run vigilance if you're gonna be taking attacks anyway, but I mean, having the option is not bad. And Gordy, healthy healing. Okay. Could be worse. Definitely could be worse. Frankly, I'll be honest with you. I don't think this is definitely not a terrible base kit. He could afford to have better gauge management stuff. Quick tempo is not that fantastic, but hey, I'll take it. I'll take this over Samson Oak stuff, man. I'll take it for sure. Okay, let's leave that up to let's leave Samson Oak in the dust. 1 out of 5, nothing really. 2 out of 5, he gets group morale boost for special attack buffs, NPR on the trainer move, group pep talk on the trainer move as well. See, look, this is good. This is just even better offensive buffing. There we go. Potion NPR and Master Healer. Andy's got double of it. All right, already doing really good. Natural Remedy as well. Fair enough. Gauge refresh, trip up for double speed debuffs. Okay, I already have to kind of explain. I don't need to explain really why the gauge refresh stuff's pretty good. I mean, he's not really got gauge stuff, so it's good to have something. Natural Remedy, same case. I've already kind of explained that. I do like the double potion stuff. Again, I've already explained why that's good, and well, any support having consistent healing is really solid to have. And I do like the NPR as well as the extra stuff here. So if you do need those offensive buffs, they're there. I mean, I like Samson's ability of doing it too. I mean, it's fine, but he doesn't have anything else. At least Gordy's actually got consistent defenses, physical and special moves next buffing, and he's got actual HP recovery. And he's got just built-in straight up 10% support with no conditions pretty much added. Because being forced to crit to power up your moves is not a condition. It is just free damage. Okay. Anyway, I mean, whatever. Not a bad 2 out of 5. At least for what it's got, I guess. 3 out of 5, Impervious, Overwhelm on Rock Tomb, Initial Guard, Team moves up next on using the Buddy move again. More Master Healing NPR as we stated earlier. Head Start 1 and Sync move, Team HP Recovery, 20% HP Recovery. Okay. My only issue with this guy, Gauge is not really a big thing for him, which kind of sucks, but we can deal with this. I like Impervious. Impervious is nice utility. Overwhelm as well, same thing. Like good extra defensive enhancement, extra HP recovery, Head Start 1 for some sync countdown. I mean, fair enough, I guess. I don't think he's like the best character ever. I mean, he's mostly kind of a whatever support, I would say, because a lot of characters at this point are being built in a similar fashion to this. But he's better than Samson Oak. Samson Oak tries with Dragon Zone to like recover himself, but he does not have the ability to take a fucking hit. I'd rather run Nate or I'd rather run Lucas. That's just true. I would not like to run a support that can't really take a hit. Can you play around with it? Probably. Do I want to? Not really. Okay. Melanie and Frostmoth. I'm just using Gordy as an excuse to rail on Samson a little bit. Anyway, she supports Sprint, solid combination, good defensive stats, solid enough speed, solid HP, over 800. I hope over 800 HP with the EX roll. Some offenses, but not really a big deal, I would say. Yeah, she just got Powder Snow. Big whoop. Powder Snow doesn't really matter. 10% freeze chance. I have gotten very lucky with that before. It does happen. Potions. Okay. Silver Snow Mist. 2 gauges. Targets all enemies. Active whenever special damage reduction is applied. But she sets it on entry and extends it by 50%. Okay. Deactivated when not a thing anymore. Never misses. Returns raise stats of all opposing sync pairs to normal. Applies no stat increase. Applies stat reduction defense to high field of play. Returns lowered stats of all allies to normal. And applies super effect next to all allies. And free moves next to all. That's a big grocery list of items that boxes that she checks. Big thing though, I love the ability to return enemies' raise stats and return our lowered stats and prevent both from being, well, ours from being debuffed and theirs from being buffed. That is a solid thing to compress into one kit. Not bad at all. This is being 2 uses is good as well. Not big on it being tied to special damage reduction, but she does set it and she does extend it by 50%. Just again, I hope she has a way in the grid. If she has another way in the grid, it's not that big. Hit, attack, and special attack by down by 9. That's good debuffing. A character that can debuff combined with stuff like this is good. That's why I like Arcsuit in a good bit, considering how he plays. It's good stuff. Condition nullification, preventing the user from being hit with status conditions, flinching, confusion, and trap. That's basic. That's like basic good stuff, because like your support can get hit with it gets hit with the most moves, so they're the most susceptible to these random effects and additional effects. So just complete immunity to basically all of them is really solid to have. Also, I didn't even look at the trainer move. Buffs the defenses allows by 4 and reduces and countdown by 1. Sure. Again, better than okay. Well, Larry does this, but better than Samson Oak. Oh god. Okay, I think that's fine though. I like the ability to buff the defenses by 4 immediately. I wish it was 6, but whatever. But also having the ability to debuff both offenses. AOE, by the way, because Powder Snow is really solid, and then having the no stat increase stuff as well. Okay. 1 out of 5. Shelter Snow or Snow Shelter. Shelter Snow. Stalwart as well, but whatever again. 2 out of 5. Revenge boosts. Gauge refresh on the buddy move. Gauge refresh 9 no less. Powder Snow gauge refresh. Oh, this is at 1 out of 5. Okay. So she's got good gauge stuff at 1 out of 5, but it's fine. 2 out of 5. She gets hostile environment too, and then trip up as well. I can see the mind games too here at 3 out of 5. Ooh, I like her debuff ability. Her debuffing looks really solid. Master Healer and NPR. Another batch of it. We're getting all these Master Healer NPR double ups here for these supports this month. Like they're it's like candy. Journey with NPR as well as Barricade. Okay. Barricade is not really that great because NPR is right there. Just fish for the NPR. Get the sync countdown. Get the extra defensive buffs. You'll be fine. Yeah. Not a bad, frankly though, not a bad 2 out of 5. I mean, it gives her the ability to max out defenses. It gives her the ability to debuff another stat if that's important to you, and it also gives her a 30% chance to freeze, split, you know, by multiple enemies, but whatever, I guess. But if you want to fish for the RNG there, again, that also exists. And Potion NPR. NPR alone is really good for every single one of these supports that has it. Gordy, Melanie, as well as Larry. That's good to have. Potion NPR. So 2 out of 5 is very valuable for these characters at any level. Though you probably are going to want 3 out of 5 as well. Mind Games. Mind Games on Powder Snow is really good. That is 4 different stats she can debuff AoE. That's really solid. And then Powder Snow hit ally offenses get buffed. Okay. So this is her way to buff attack stats. Way to buff stats. Nice. First aid 4 for immediate healing for herself. Sync move. Okay. Special damage reduction. So yeah, she does have another way to set this. Again, that's why I do like it a bit more now. This extends the ability to use this later on into the fight when an enemy may lose their no stat increase effect, but you probably just want to reapply it, frankly. Or if they like Giovanni, where you want to like time it to the usage of his trainer moves, right? So that just as an example, it's good to have the ability to use this for the sync move. And again, that 50% extension on top of it, really good. Okay. Allied field team attack move damage reduction. Okay. 20% damage reduction for the team on top of the elated buff defenses pretty well, and also having the ability to return like a Lord stats normal and potions. Okay, nice. Sync free for all for gauge stuff. Not the best method of gauge, I feel, but it could be worse. It really could be. Could be Samson Oak. His gauge is like whatever, I guess. And then more master healer and potion stuff again. We really love those double up on the NPRs. Okay. I like Melanie's kit. I like Gordy's kit a little bit. You know what? They definitely could design worse kits, and they have. They designed Samson Oak. I'm going to keep shitting on that guy until he's gone. Anyway, variety bead. Not variety bead. Damage challenge bead. That should be all the characters, the big ones, all the new characters. Yeah, so we're going on to the damage challenge bead, and then Iris, Lodge Iris. Let's see. So bead field character with 5-star rarity, force fairy typing as we expect. Good offenses. Whatever defenses, I guess. Yeah, they're there. 700 HPs, kind of just there. And then 337 speed is fine enough. Draining Kiss, okay, kind of built like Shauna so far. Okay, Draining Kiss, mini potion, all fake tears. What? Really? Okay. And then the trainer move to buff allies, defense and crit by 1, and then special attack by 2. Whatever, enough self-sufficiency. Ethereal Entrance, Sting Fairy Zone on entry. Terrify 2 for debuffing all ally or all enemy offenses by 2, and then Satisfied Snarl 9 for debuffing enemy special attack. Okay, so fake tears also targets that. Okay. Not bad. It's good debuffing. Special defense, attack, and special attack. Solid. Not bad at all. Grid. Whimsical acceleration, HP recovery, stat debuff immunity. Smarty Pants for the sync move. Quick cure, Draining Kiss, master healer. Sharp entry for crit buffs and makes the self-sufficiency work. Master healer, or sorry, NPR and master healer and mini potions. Terrify 1, Dragon Guard. Poison Guard, Catalyst, charging infliction on fake tears, ramp up on fake tears, NPR on the trainer move, hit and heal. Solid healing with the hit and heal, the NPR, or sorry, the mini potions, as well as using Draining Kiss. Solid debuffing with fake tears, and as well as Terrify and Satisfied Snarl. Okay, Terrify is like whatever, it's -2, not that great. But it does have, I guess, -3 here as well. That is something. Gauge is like fine enough as well with Catalyst, as well as charging infliction. Honestly, I don't really tend to have many expectations for these. I think N was good, and in Archeops they were pretty strong. They had some pretty good sync capability. Speed, not really so much. He's definitely utility focused, and I mean, kind of whatever utility focused, I suppose. Not really good at setting Fairy Zone. It's just sync movement on entry, which is almost always pretty useless. Except, like, I guess in cases with... No, it can't be good with EX Fairy Zone because it's applied before the Fairy Zone, so that's fun. Yeah, whatever. I mean, solid healing, solid stuff. Mostly just gauntlet food. Iris and Dredagon, I'm curious. Support roll, no EX roll, of course, because Lodge. 4-star base. Fine enough defensive stats, I suppose. Solid enough HP, whatever speed. Dragon Claw, obviously not gonna be good for damage. Maxing crit's solid for being a free support. Bite can be really good. Attack and special attack allies by 4 and speed allies by 2, bro. She learn. Look at this. She's able to buff crit by 3, offenses by 4, and speed by 2. A lot of the supports that we got here could learn. Okay. Take hit, trap opponent, leave an opponent, the attacked user trapped when hit by an attack move. Gauge refresh 4, and then first aid 4. Doesn't have like potion healing or anything like that, but I mean, having the first aid is nice. Having the gauge refresh is very nice as well for full gauge efficiency, and then able to trap the enemy. A little bit of gimmick check, and she can work with it. And in the grid, let's see. Shielded 2 on her trainer move. Pep Rally on the trainer move. Synchro healing. Well, initial synchro healing. No. just synchro healing. Okay. Hit trapped opponent, offense is down. Okay. HP recovery when hitting what is basically going to be a trapped opponent. So that does give her some good HP recovery, some consistent HP recovery rather. Revenge boost for some gauge. Bite aggravation. Go. That's what we want. We want bite aggravation. That's going to be able to activate the interference stuff here, and also be able to make it so the enemy doesn't move. Catalyst. Bite gauge refresh. Hit and heal on the trainer move. That's more good healing for her. Barricade buddies for some defensive stuff, as well as NPR, so she can actually get those defensive buffs. On the ropes for some damage reduction for physical damage, and then next round a little bit of, and quick well for some status condition, status change check. Not bad. I mean, it's you're not really gonna get too much amazing use out of these supports in like conventional play. Mostly like champion stadium stuff and legendary arenas, and I think she's really solid. She's gonna be really solid for legendary arenas. Being able to buff like offenses and defenses and crit is a good all-round ability, and then flinch is just a great ability. It's like probably the #1 ability, I would say, other than like piercing blows and stuff in a legendary arena. So flinch is amazing. We love to see flinch. It's good to have. Yeah. So that's the big thing. Flinch and just all around versatility, and also good gauge management. She can manage gauge very, very well. So yeah, solid support just mostly because of that. Okay, just for the legendary arenas mostly. And again, like a new player who needs like a support that can like do all these different roles, or like compress all these roles, she's gonna be solid for it. And being a free to play character, you know, she's gonna be easily accessible. I think that's the big thing you kind of want to aim for with these. Not that they're like going to be replacing meta supports. Never going to happen. Okay, let's look at the expanded grids for Mallow and Gita. Mallow is a big one on nuking here with the extra, like, what's her nuke stuff? Solar Flare, Crit Strike, Pecking Order. Like, she's got good nuking tiles as well as the innate here. Her offenses are fine, nothing crazy. And she does have the ability to do solid enough damage. I mean, Power Whip's not crazy power, but it's not terrible either. It's got Confusing Synergy to work with it. Again, Critical Strike 1 here. What else has she got? Charging Sun 3. Yeah, similar stuff. Power. So let's see how they expand upon that. She gets plus 20 attack and plus 20 speed. The attack buff's nice. Gauge, mostly whatever. It's not bad. Fuzzy Strike 5. So 50% sync multiplier already. Again, it's good. Attack down when hitting an opponent, just in general. Okay. More offensive debuffs to make Pecking Order easy to activate. You can't see me complaining. That's good to have. Critical Eye on her trainer move. Her trainer move fucking sucks. And then Berserker. Okay. So it gives her self-sufficiency, gives her more multipliers, and it gives her, okay, yeah, mostly self-sufficiency in being able to buff her stats, and self-sufficiency in being able to actually like activate the or apply the multiplier she wants, just not Charging Sun and Solar Flare. And then a 50% multiplier on top of that. Yeah, okay. It's a good expansion. I mean, that's what she needed. That's what she wants to work with. It's good. I didn't really expect her to get anything uber crazy to make her like a top tier character or anything like that. I just expected her to get something that makes her function a lot better. And well, she did. The self-sufficiency is what's really big to me for her. Like, because when I use her, it's like her training move sucks so fucking bad. It actually is just one of the worst ones ever. So now she can actually be fully self-sufficient in buffing her crit and her attack. That's good to have. I like that. Gita. All right. Gita doesn't really, I don't even know what she needs. Probably just more like DPS enhancement, I would say, frankly. Doesn't need anything crazy. 4 to 5, Gita has Sync Move, Team Physical Boost 2, and Sync Burst. Sync Burst. Sync Burst. Okay. If Gita can get a good setter for like EX Poison Zone, even still without it, I think, yeah, that's good. Sync Burst is really good for Gita. That gives an extra use of the buddy move, which not only is the buddy move quite strong, quite strong, it's really strong. It also has all these effects. The Poison Zone being the biggest one. Makes her better at setting Poison Zone, even more of it. Extra defensive debuffs if you manage to need them. And obviously the extra power. And then also the physical boost here on the sync move. This is like you want to use them hand in hand. You're like, okay, yay, I use my sync move, I get another use of my buddy move, and I get physical moves up next to use that buddy move under, right? And also, of course, not having to like pick up these extra tiles here makes it easier to get to your sync tiles. So it makes her grid overall just better to like pick up stuff in. I actually think those are good tiles. I think Gita legitimately got, one of the few older characters to actually get a good Master Fair buff. That's good to see. Okay, that's not bad at all. In my opinion, that's not bad at all, especially because it's gonna make her a very good partner to apply to a EX Poison Zone setter. Especially if it ends up being herself, which will be fucking funny as shit, but we'll see. Okay. Like, I mean, her arc suit. Anyway, whatever. So, that is all the characters. I think they're all really good. I say they're all really good. No, I don't think, like, any of these are, like, super crazy good characters or whatever, but I think they're, like, fine. I think Larry's a character that's, like, probably going to be pretty underappreciated for a little bit, but it's very solid that flying has this ability, and I like the ability to have a better, I say better flying zone setter, well, a supportive option for their flying zone setter, especially once they end up actually getting their EX flying zone setter, which hopefully isn't a support, you know, because overlap there, shouldn't be though. And they'll give Larry a little bit extra boost in like a flying type team. Just being able to actually set flying zone to like work alongside that EX flying zone setter. I think that's one of the biggest things I'm waiting for him. But otherwise, he's still good. He's still got good, all well-rounded stuff. Meme character of the Samson Oak, Elio, Celine, like again, Larry I think is good. Iris is a good free character. Beat is kind of whatever, I would say, for even for free standards. Mallow's got a pretty good expansion. Gita got an actually good Master for tiles. That's good to see. It's good to see these characters actually get good buffs. So that's overall my thoughts on them. Let me know what you all think about it in the comments below. I'll see you later. I hope you all enjoyed. Peace.